Hi guys, today I wanted to talk to you about how I make my iced coffee because I truly believe it's the best iced coffee in the world. I find my coffee at Costco. It's actually a Kirkland brand, but it's also made by Starbucks. It's a dark roast espresso blend, so it's very, very strong. Now, when you leave Costco, they have little grinders. After you leave, you just open it up and dump the actual beans inside the grinder, and you grind them to a coarse ground. So it's going to end up looking like these. When I get home from Costco, I dump it into these bins to store it so that's very easy to scoop out. And I just leave a little half-cup measuring scoop in there. You can see kind of how it's coarsely ground. So after I store it in here, then I take a large mason jar that I find at Michael's. They're very inexpensive. And I fill up the coffee to about the 2-cup mark. So about 2 cups of coffee. Then I take this over to the fridge and I fill it up all the way to the top with water like this. Once it's inside the jar, I just give it a really good shake. I can't do it with one hand, but just shake it up really well. Put it in the fridge for at least 12 hours or overnight. The longer the better, but at least 12 hours minimum. After that, it's ready to be strained. So this is kind of the system how I do it. I found this coffee strainer for $19.99 at Bed Bath & Beyond, and it can be washed and reused again and again and again. And I just place it over a regular cup or mason jar, whatever you have, and then you just pour it in and start the straining. So I just poured in my first batch. It takes a little while to strain, so you kind of have to be patient, go around and get some stuff done, and then come back and pour more in. And it can also get a little bit messy, so I always just put like a little paper towel down to catch any of the spills. But ultimately, it doesn't take that long. You just kind of get things done. And okay, so we're just about done straining at the very last little bit here. We're pretty much done. At this point, you're left with a lot of like wet, goopy coffee grinds. Now, it's pretty easy. What I just do is I just take it over to the trash and I just dump out as much as I can into the trash. And then if there's not very much left, I just rinse it out in the sink and I'm done. Some people suggest that you put it into your garden because I heard that the coffee grounds are actually good for soil. So if you have a garden, go ahead and dump it in your garden and you can do something with it. Otherwise, just throw it away. It's not a big deal. It's going to do the same with this. Just dump it into the trash. Okay, so I just quickly cleaned up and rinsed everything. So now we are left here with about, I would say, close to 6 cups of coffee. And I go ahead and put lids on the jars and store them in the fridge for up to a week. And I use it all throughout the week. As you can see, it's a very dark, rich coffee. So you don't have to use the espresso blend that I'm suggesting. You can use any coffee you want. I do suggest you get a more bold dark roast to get the really rich flavor. Now I want to tell you a little bit about when you do it this way and you actually soak the grounds rather than brewing it, it actually gets a much more intense, deep flavor. You will taste flavors in your coffee that you cannot get when you brew it. This is what I've learned from research I've done, and now that I have tasted it, I will never go back to the brewed cold coffee. It's such a difference. And I used to be addicted to Starbucks and get their iced coffee and spend about over $3.50 a day on their iced coffee and get a shot of espresso in it. And I actually like this better. I think it tastes better. I think it's even stronger, and I am hooked. So please don't be afraid to give this a try. It is delicious, and you can even do double the batch of what I just did, so it can last even longer. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment. Thanks for watching.